Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Group 5 in the Fauxbi Offensive tournament. On this episode we have the Weenus Legion by the Jimmer and they're against the Zetan Air Control by Server. So let's get started. So both of these previously took part in other groups, but if you watch the intro you'll know that I've had to pad out this 5th group, so these two, as some of the best performing runners-up, have got another chance. So neither of these two have faced each other before, so it should be interesting to see how they get on. So the Zetan Air Control by Server is one of the few airborne divisions. I think it might even be the only airborne division in this tournament, whereas the Weenus Legion is an armour division, which is by far the most popular choice. So it'll be interesting to see how they do against each other. Just following the fighters in right now. So scores extremely even at the moment, 98% on both sides. Now, because the Zetan Air Control is an airborne division, the spawning distance is increased to 3,000 metres from the regular 2,000 metres, so it takes a little while before the bulk of the two forces kind of catch up. Watch these gunships, see how they get on. Seem to be concentrating the most of their fire on this dank tank here. No sign it's taken much in the way of damage. Seems like most of their shells are missing. Now they're starting to land some hits. Still seems mostly superficial. Scores well. Zetan Air Control has established a very small lead. Still, I'd say too early to say. I don't think the Weenus Legion had to fight any airborne divisions previously, so we haven't yet seen how effective they are against air targets. They do seem to be struggling to take out these helicopters, or I'm not even sure if they've been targeting them yet. Ah, yes, the Albatross gunship as well. I was literally about to say still untouched, and then an entire turret gets taken out. So when he fires, he puts out quite a lot of shells. Not particularly accurate, though. So in previous matches, the Albatross has not really lasted that long. Does definitely seem to be distracting a lot of fire, if nothing else, which is always useful. Yeah, the Zetan Air Control continuing to extend their early lead, although still things pretty close. Still too early to call. Definitely seems like the Weenus Legion are mostly distracted by the Albatross, even though they have no real hope of hitting a target that fast moving and at that much range, with their obviously anti-tank intended guns. Salvo from the Albatross, only a single hit scored. Bit of ramming going on there. Oh yes, I forgot about these the ambassadors with their unusual armament. little sign that the helicopters or fighters have been engaged. Albatross taking a few hits. Looks like that front turret's been damaged, lost its barrel possibly. The helicopter gunships focusing down this guy, but again not really seeming to have achieved that much. See over here where the ambassadors and the dank tanks are engaging, or are the dank tanks just pretty much ignoring them and all still focusing? Yeah, focusing on some very distant targets. Ah, finally. Some good shots into the weak rear armour of that ambassador there. I seem to recall that, yeah, this is very much the soft part of these guys. That's some point blank cram shells. Didn't seem to do that much. Saying this, oh wow, did that shell just pass clean through? I think it did, yep. Yeah, I don't think that, is that an ambassador or is that a, I forget what the variant's called. Sky Molder, that's it. Oh, I think that is an ambassador, this one, yep. Not dead, although he appears to be mostly missing his internals. Scores continuing to be in favour of the Zetan air control. A few dank tanks have been knocked out, so the battle's really quite spread out at this stage, which is not ideal. Yeah. We're going to start finding vehicles flipped upside down because of the ground spawning issue. With the groups that were mostly armoured divisions, we didn't really have this issue because they didn't spread out so much, but these airborne divisions, yeah, they tend to cause the battle to spread right out. Going for the ram there, good solid ram. Not sure why this guy's apparently not dead, but just content to not do anything. Okay. Okay, yep. Still in favour of the Zetan air control, although I think the Weenus Legion is starting to claw back somewhat. Haven't seen the Albatross in a while. He's picked up some disqualification time, so he needs to get back in range. Yeah, these helicopters proving problematic for the Weenus Legion. I think they just scored a hit, however. Didn't seem to do anything. Neither side hurting the other side particularly quickly. We're just approaching the 5-minute mark. Well, the scores actually become pretty even, but still at 79 to 77. I suspect this is going to be a battle that's going to go to the end time limit. More sensible way of phrasing it. One thing to bear in mind is these little unarmed transport units here on the Zetan air control. They might make the Zetan air control look like it's doing slightly better than it is, as they increase the overall hit points, even though they can't really achieve anything. The helicopter's been grounded. Still doesn't seem to be coming under much attack. Oh, I'm not quite sure what's happened, but all of a sudden the Zetan air control have dropped quite substantially in hit points. And now the Weenus Legion clearly in control. Ah, here comes the Albatross, taking some quite substantial incoming fire, managing to dodge all of it thus far. Yeah, the Weenus Legion really not well set up to take on an airborne target. I'm not sure. Oh! I was literally about to say I'm not sure if a single hit. They scored a single hit on the Albatross, and then they scored one hit that instantly blew it to smithereens. Look at that. I guess that must have been a magazine hit or something. Wow. Honestly, the curse of the commentator. The moment I hadn't even said it. Yeah, with that loss, the hit points have gone very much in favour of the Weenus Legion. So whilst they struggled to hit the helicopters don't seem to have been achieving a great deal against the very heavily armoured dank tanks. The ambassadors have been faring better, but I think with the massive heavy armour on the Weenus Legion tanks, they've been struggling as well. What fighting there is other than that poor Sky Molder getting pummeled, and these very distracting transport units there. Yeah, quite a few damaged helicopters. This little bullying, I think a Weenie I believe this is called, struggling to really do much, but giving it his all. I actually think he's trying to shoot through that helicopter. Oh no, he's hunting the helicopter. Got a couple of damaged Sky Molders, it looks like. Oh, and another dank tank over here. Stationary for some reason. So these B5 pitchforks, I think they've always fared pretty well. They're nice and fast, small, manoeuvrable. And fairly sturdy. I mean, there's quite a lot of flak shells there. Scoring some hits, but they're still flying. They look like they're probably pretty cheap as well. So all in all, these seem like a pretty effective unit. Is that missiles don't really achieve a great deal against heavily armoured tanks in the current meta of From the Depths. Well, we've got just under 1 minute left on the time, and I can't see how the Weenus Legion aren't going to win this one. I also can't see how they're going to finish off the Zetan air control, but unfortunately for the Zetan air control, they don't need to. They just need to finish with the most hit points. Yeah. Seems like a really quite disorganised battle at this point. Everyone just spread out, quite a few units flipped upside down. Mostly just the air units left on the Zetan air control. The dank tanks still struggling to hit. And that's it. That's time. And look at the score, shows that this is a victory for Weenus Legion. So congratulations to the Gemma and commiserations to Correct Server with the Zetan air control. Well, thank you for watching.